Imagine standing on the edge of a cliff, desperately trying to hold onto the wind. That is exactly what it feels like when we try to control another human being, when we allow our peace of mind to depend entirely on another person's choices. The ancient Stoics understood a profound and uncomfortable truth about human relationships, one that modern psychology is only now beginning to prove. By the end of this video, you will understand the single most important sign of a shifting relationship dynamic, and why the things we obsess over are often just mirrors of our own internal anxiety. When we feel a connection slipping, or when trust begins to fray, our survival instincts kick in. We become hyper-vigilant. We start scanning our environment for threats, looking for clues in a scent, a momentary silence, a tired sigh, or a subtle change in physical appearance. We turn ourselves into detectives in our own homes, searching for physical proof to validate our emotional pain. But the Stoic philosopher Seneca warned us that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. When the mind is consumed by fear, it will find patterns in random noise. It will take natural, everyday occurrences and weave them into a narrative of betrayal. This is the trap of hypervigilance. It is a psychological state where your brain's threat detection system, the amygdala, is constantly active. In this state, everything looks like a sign. If your partner is unusually tired, your mind tells you they are giving their energy to someone else. If their natural scent seems different, or if they seem physically distant, your anxiety immediately constructs a worst-case scenario. But we must pause and ask ourselves a fundamental Stoic question. Are we observing objective reality, or are we reacting to our own internal projections? Let us look at the biological and psychological reality of human connection. Our bodies are dynamic, constantly changing in response to stress, hormones, diet, and physical exhaustion. A partner who returns home exhausted, quiet, or seemingly changed is often simply carrying the weight of a demanding world. To assume that every physical shift is a sign of betrayal is not only anatomically and scientifically flawed, but it is also a symptom of a deeper internal struggle. It is the sign of a mind that has lost its anchor. Have you ever caught yourself doing this? Have you ever lay awake at night, replaying a single look or a passing comment, trying to decode its hidden meaning? If so, you are not alone. It is a deeply human response to the fear of vulnerability. But as Epictetus famously taught, it is not things themselves that upset us, but the judgments we form about those things. When we look at our partner through the lens of suspicion, we stop seeing them as a human being. Instead, we see them as a threat to be managed, a puzzle to be solved. And in doing so, we destroy the very foundation of trust we are trying to protect. This brings us to the core of the issue. When we look for external signs of reassurance, we are searching in the wrong place. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If your thoughts are constantly colored by suspicion, anxiety, and the need for control, your entire experience of love will be tainted. You will find yourself trapped in a prison of your own making, constantly seeking proof, yet never fully satisfied by the answers you receive. Because the truth is, no amount of physical evidence can ever cure an anxious mind. If you have made it this far, you are likely searching for a sense of certainty in an uncertain world. But here is the hard, liberating truth that Stoicism demands we face. You can never have absolute control over another person. You cannot control their thoughts, their feelings, or their fidelity. To place your happiness in their hands is to build your house on shifting sand. This is where we must transition from the anxious desire to control toward the ultimate Stoic practice of self-mastery. What does self-mastery look like in a relationship? It begins with the dichotomy of control. You must clearly distinguish between what is in your power and what is not. Your partner's actions, their choices, and their internal world are outside your control. What is within your power is your own character, your own reactions, and your own self-respect. When you cultivate a deep sense of self-worth, your peace of mind is no longer held hostage by the behavior of others. Instead of searching for physical signs of distance, turn your gaze inward. Ask yourself, am I showing up in this relationship with integrity, kindness, and strength? Am I communicating my boundaries clearly, or am I letting fear dictate my behavior? If a relationship is truly struggling, the signs will not be found in pseudoscientific biological markers or physical changes. The true signs are found in the quality of your connection, the presence of mutual respect, and the openness of your communication. When a connection is genuinely fading, a mature, stoic individual does not resort to surveillance or paranoia. They do not look for red marks or analyze biological sense. Instead, they address the reality with calm, courageous clarity. They speak honestly, listen deeply, and observe without judgment. And if they discover that trust has indeed been broken, they do not let it destroy them. They recognize that another person's betrayal is a reflection of that person's character, not their own worth. As Marcus Aurelius beautifully reminded us, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. If you are faced with dishonesty or distance, do not lower yourself to games of suspicion and control. Maintain your dignity. Protect your peace. Cultivate a self-respect so absolute that your ability to love and be loved remains untouched, regardless of the choices others make. Let us carry this wisdom into our lives. Let us choose observation over paranoia, clarity over anxiety, and self-respect over the desperate need for control. When we build our inner temple, we find that we can face any storm with grace. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If this perspective helped bring you a sense of clarity, please consider subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and sharing it with someone who might need this reminder. Let me know in the comments, how do you practice Stoicism in your own relationships? Stay calm, stay grounded, and I will see you in the next video.